Ladies, please hear me out. I'm a doctor in my 60s, and what I'm about to tell you might completely change how you look at your diet. You've been trying to eat healthier, haven't you? Maybe switching to whole grains, adding more fruit, sipping smoothies, even snacking on so-called low-fat foods. But despite all that effort, the scale still creeps up. Well, it's not your fault. There are 6 foods you've probably been told are healthy, but for senior women, they're quietly sabotaging your waistline and your energy. I'll break each one down, and I guarantee number 4 will absolutely shock you. So stick with me until the end, and make sure to hit like, subscribe, and comment below with which of these foods surprised you the most. Let's dive in. Part 1. Granola, the sugar bomb in disguise. Let's start with one of the biggest so-called health foods that's quietly making older women gain weight, granola. Now, I know what you're thinking, but granola is healthy, right? It has oats and nuts. That's exactly what I used to think too. For years, I sprinkled it on my yogurt or ate it by the handful, believing it was doing my heart and bones a favor. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Granola is one of the most misleading foods in your pantry. Most store-bought granola is loaded with sugar. Yes, even the natural, organic, and gluten-free ones. They're often sweetened with things like honey, maple syrup, brown rice syrup, or cane sugar, all of which spike your blood sugar. And for women over 60, those blood sugar spikes are a recipe for weight gain, especially around the midsection. As we age, our insulin sensitivity decreases, which means our bodies don't process sugar as efficiently. Instead of using it for energy, we store it as fat, particularly visceral fat, the kind that wraps around your organs and raises your risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Let me paint you a picture. One small bowl of granola, just half a cup, can easily contain 15 to 20 grams of sugar. That's more than a glazed donut. And since granola is calorie dense, it's easy to eat a lot more than a half cup, especially when paired with fruit or sweetened yogurt. Then there's the dried fruit. While fruit in its natural form has fiber and water to help slow down sugar absorption, dried fruit is concentrated sugar. A handful of raisins can contain the sugar of an entire bunch of grapes, with none of the hydration. It doesn't fill you up. It just fuels your cravings. Even the oils used in granola, like canola or soybean oil, can contribute to inflammation and bloating, especially if you're sensitive to processed fats. So what can you do instead? If you crave something crunchy in the morning, make your own low-sugar version using rolled oats, unsweetened coconut, flax seeds, cinnamon, and just a tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup or none at all. Or better yet, skip granola entirely and go for a protein-rich breakfast like eggs, plain Greek yogurt with a few walnuts, or a bowl of steel-cut oats with chia seeds and cinnamon. Trust me, your hormones, joints, and waistline will thank you. Part 2. Whole wheat bread, not as whole as you think. Next up, whole wheat bread. This one stings, I know. So many of us made the switch from white bread to whole wheat thinking we were doing ourselves a huge favor. I remember feeling proud when I tossed white bread out of my kitchen. But here's what I didn't know at the time, and what many women over 60 still don't realize. Most commercial whole wheat breads are not truly whole grain. They're processed, bleached, and filled with preservatives that strip away the fiber and nutrients your body actually needs. And guess what? They still have a high glycemic index, meaning they raise your blood sugar almost as fast as white bread. You may be thinking, but it says whole wheat on the label. That's part of the marketing trick. The term whole wheat doesn't mean the bread is packed with fiber or minimally processed. In fact, the first ingredient in many of these breads is enriched wheat flour, which is just another name for refined flour with a few vitamins thrown back in. Now, why is this a problem for us older women? Because once you hit your 60s, your metabolism slows down. Your hormones, especially estrogen, drop, which affects how your body handles carbohydrates. That once innocent slice of toast you eat with breakfast might be causing a surge of insulin, telling your body to hold on to fat rather than burn it for energy. What's worse, many of these breads have added sugar, soy flour, corn syrup solids, and other ingredients that can lead to bloating, inflammation, and digestive upset. And have you ever noticed how quickly you get hungry again after eating bread? That's because it doesn't keep you full. It gives you a temporary spike of energy, followed by a crash that makes you crave more carbs, starting the cycle all over again. So what's the better option? Choose sprouted grain bread. You'll find it in the freezer section, or skip the bread altogether and go for high-fiber, low-glycemic alternatives like sweet potatoes, quinoa, or cauliflower wraps. These won't spike your blood sugar, and they'll actually help your digestion and energy levels. Remember, just because something says whole wheat doesn't mean it's working with your body. Read the label and listen to how you feel after eating it. Your body knows the truth. Part 3. Smoothies, a sugar trap in a cup. Let's talk about smoothies. I know many of you love starting your day with a smoothie. It feels light, refreshing, and virtuous. You throw in a banana, maybe some mango or pineapple, a scoop of protein powder, a splash of juice, blend it up, and boom, health in a glass. Right? Not so fast. Most smoothies are disguised sugar traps. And for women over 60, they can quietly cause fat gain, insulin resistance, and a roller coaster of energy crashes. Here's what's happening. When you blend fruit, especially multiple servings, you break down the natural fibers that normally help slow digestion and prevent blood sugar spikes. So instead of gradually digesting that banana or that cup of berries, your body absorbs the sugar almost instantly. That triggers a rapid release of insulin, which tells your body, store fat now. And don't get me started on smoothies from juice bars or cafes. Many of them contain 30 to 60 grams of sugar, sometimes more than a slice of cake. Yes, even the green ones. Even homemade smoothies can be problematic if you're using too much fruit, sweetened nut milks, or sugary yogurts. Add to that the fact that we're drinking our calories instead of chewing them, and it becomes clear. Your brain doesn't register fullness the same way, so you're hungry again an hour later. Now, here's what's especially important for us as senior women. Our liver function slows down with age, and our ability to process fructose, the sugar found in fruit, is reduced. Excess fructose gets converted to fat in the liver, leading to fatty liver disease and belly weight gain. So what's the solution? It's not that smoothies are bad altogether. It's what you put in them. Instead of fruit-heavy smoothies, try this. A handful of spinach or kale. Half a frozen avocado for creaminess and healthy fat. A tablespoon of chia or flax seeds. Unsweetened almond milk or water. A scoop of high-quality unsweetened protein powder. And if you want a little sweetness, add 4 to 5 blueberries. Yes, just a few. Part 4. Low-fat yogurt, high in sugar, low in nutrition. If you grew up during the fat-free craze like I did, then you probably still have a few low-fat yogurts in your fridge right now. After all, they've been marketed to us for decades as the perfect guilt-free snack. But let me be blunt, low-fat yogurt is a trap, especially for women over 60. Here's the thing. When food manufacturers take the fat out of yogurt, they're also removing a big part of what makes it satisfying and hormonally balancing. And how do they make up for the lost taste? With added sugar, often up to 5 or 6 teaspoons per small container. Some even add artificial sweeteners or corn syrup. And we're not just talking about the obvious dessert-like yogurts with fruit on the bottom. Even the ones that say vanilla, honey, or light can be loaded with hidden sugars that go straight into your bloodstream, triggering an insulin surge. As an older woman, your metabolism no longer handles sugar like it did in your 30s. That insulin surge encourages fat storage, especially around your midsection, and contributes to energy crashes and brain fog. Not to mention, over time, it can increase your risk of type 2 diabetes. Even worse, without healthy fat. You're missing out on a key nutrient that helps keep estrogen, cortisol, and thyroid hormones in balance. Fat doesn't make you fat. Sugar does, especially when you're in your 60s or beyond. So what should you do instead? Switch to plain, full-fat Greek yogurt or plain coconut yogurt if you're dairy sensitive. Add your own toppings like cinnamon, chia seeds, or a few crushed walnuts. If you want sweetness, add a few fresh berries, not fruit syrups or sugar-laced jam. You'll feel fuller, your cravings will drop, and your digestion will thank you. Part 5. Fruit juice, a metabolic disaster. Now, this one really shocks people. Fruit juice. I'm talking about orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, even the expensive cold-pressed ones that come in fancy glass bottles. Let me be clear, drinking juice is not the same as eating fruit. Yes, fruit has vitamins, but it also contains fructose, a type of sugar that becomes a major problem when it's concentrated into liquid form, stripped of its fiber. When you drink juice, even the 100% natural kind, you're flooding your body with sugar and no fiber to slow it down. Here's what that looks like for your body. A single glass of orange juice contains the sugar of 4 to 5 oranges. Without the fiber that your gut needs to process it slowly. That sugar goes straight to your liver, where it gets stored as fat, particularly visceral fat, the dangerous kind that surrounds your organs and increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. And let's talk about hunger. When you drink your calories, your brain doesn't register it the same way. You're not chewing, you're not satisfied, and an hour later you're reaching for a snack. That's how juice quietly adds hundreds of extra calories each week without filling you up at all. And if you're thinking, but I drink juice for the vitamin C, guess what? You can get vitamin C from leafy greens, bell peppers, or even a slice of kiwi without the sugar overload. So what's better? Eat the whole fruit, always. Chew it. Feel full. Let your digestive system do its job. If you're really thirsty, water with lemon. Or make a fruit-infused herbal tea, 0 sugar, and much better for your metabolism. Juice is not a health food. It's a metabolic disruptor for older women. Trust your body, not the label. Part 6. Protein bars, candy bars in a lab coat. I can't tell you how many of my patients carry protein bars in their purse. Just in case, they tell me, or they'll eat one for breakfast thinking it's a smart, quick choice. But here's what most women don't know. Most protein bars are glorified candy bars wearing a health halo. Let's break it down. Yes, they might have some protein, but they also contain sugar, sugar alcohols, artificial sweeteners, hydrogenated oils, preservatives, and processed soy, all of which wreak havoc on your digestion, hormones, and weight. Many of these bars spike your blood sugar like a piece of chocolate cake and leave you hungry again in a couple of hours. Plus, the low-quality protein in most bars is derived from isolated soy or processed whey, which may cause bloating or even hormonal imbalance in sensitive women. And then there are the sugar alcohols, like erythritol, maltitol, and sorbitol, which are notorious for causing bloating, gas, and digestive distress, especially as our gut becomes more sensitive with age. And don't let the numbers fool you. A bar might say 20 grams of protein and only 2 grams of sugar, but if it's packed with inflammatory seed oils, gums, and preservatives, it's still working against your body. Not with it. If you're truly on the go and need something portable, here are better options. A small baggie with raw almonds and a few dark chocolate chips, a boiled egg, and a small piece of fruit, a couple of slices of turkey wrapped around cucumber sticks, or even homemade energy bites with oats, almond butter, and chia seeds. Your body deserves real food, not lab experiments in shiny wrappers.